Assalamu alaikum Bliifians, I'm Asma and you're watching Bliifee, and in this video we will look at my morning routine because a lot of you guys asked me to share what my daily routine is like. But the thing is, I do not have a daily routine because each and every day of the week for me is different and no day is the same as another. But I managed to create a morning routine that worked well for me, alhamdulillah, which I followed until daylight savings kicked in around the start of October, where our clocks moved forward 1 hour in Australia. So that happened and my whole morning routine is messed up, but I'm going to share with you that morning routine which worked so well for me before daylight savings kicked in, and I got a lot of work done, alhamdulillah, before the day actually began. So let's get right into it.
The first thing I would do every day is to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, get fresh, then do my wudu and get the tahajjud done.
I did notice that it was hard to wake up at 3:30 in the morning if I had not followed the technique that helps me to wake up for tahajjud. And if you want to know that technique that works for me, then check this video out because I've discussed everything about it in that video.
So yes, tahajjud was a really good motivation for me to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. After waking up at 3:30 and getting my prayers done, I would move on at 4 o'clock to catching up with the previous day's classes for my MUSLIMAH course.
Normally my MUSLIMAH course classes runs from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. but by that time I've used up all my energy in the evening, so I'm not able to sit through them live. That's why I catch up with them the next day in the morning before I do anything else.
So I get the first class done in 30 minutes and now it is 4:30 in the morning. At 4:30 it is fajr time and I take a break, pray fajr, do some morning adhkar, and then at 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock I complete the rest of my classes. At 6 o'clock then, for half an hour I spend time with the Quran on doing some memorization and revision, for which I am regularly tested every week on Wednesdays. Once I'm done with that, I move on to some brain training which I do on an app called Elevate every morning. That takes me around 5 to 10 minutes and then I start reading a book for the rest of the time until it is 7 a.m. At 7 a.m. the plan is to start breakfast, which means either preparing for breakfast and then eating it or eating whatever is there, but 7 to 8 is breakfast time. Before starting breakfast, if I'm still in my wudu from fajr, then I pray Salat al-Duha.
If I'm not in my wudu, then I either make my wudu and pray Salat al-Duha, or if I don't feel like it, then I just go ahead and have my breakfast.
By the way, this is my prayer clothes set, and if you would like to buy one for yourself, then the link is in the description box below. You can use the code Bliifee5 to get a discount on any 2-piece women's prayer set. At 8 o'clock after breakfast, I start my other work, which includes content creation or my paid job or whatever it is.
But at 8 o'clock is when the day begins for me.
In the last few days of when I was following this morning routine, at 8 o'clock I started off work by filming and editing at least 1 or 2 TikTok videos. And from 9 o'clock onwards, I would do whatever work is required on that day as per my schedule. Every day of the work week is different for me.
Now, there can be some fluctuations in this routine depending on something that I might have taken longer to do or taking lesser time to do. For example, I may have taken longer to do my Quran memorization of the Quran that morning, or I might have finished it earlier because I'm just revising. So it just keeps fluctuating, but that was the general layout of my morning routine, starting from 3:30 in the morning all the way up till 9 a.m. And once I start the day, I just get into the flow and each of these tasks comes one after the other, even if they're not going on the exact time as scheduled. Like I said, I followed this up until a few weeks ago, until when daylight savings time started, which meant Fajr time was now at 5:30 and Isha was also later in the evening, which meant that I could not sleep as early as I was. Daylight savings pretty much means that we move 1 hour ahead so that we have more sunlight during the warmer days. Honestly, don't ask me about it because I don't understand it myself, even though I've been going through daylight savings, switching on and off for 8 or 9 years now. I've just learned to go with the flow and accept it because there's nothing I can do about it, right? Anyways, I did try to wake up at 3:30 even after daylight savings time started, but I was not being as productive as I wanted to because now 3:30 during daylight savings is literally 2:30 without daylight savings. So for the last few weeks, I've been trying to figure out another schedule or morning routine that works for me. But Alhamdulillah, this morning routine worked super well before daylight savings kicked in, and I thought it would be useful for me to share this with you guys, especially for those of you who were asking about my morning routine. And because some of you are in the northern hemisphere where you guys are moving towards winter, then inshallah this morning routine can be an inspiration for you guys to follow as well. Also, inshallah, if I figure out something else for the next few months during daylight savings, then I will keep you guys updated. But slowly and steadily, we will be entering the days where Isha will be around 10:30 p.m. And so for that, I will need to be following the tips that I have discussed in this video about how to manage sleep when the prayer timings are super late, which is Isha and Fajr super early in the morning. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the morning routine that you just saw in this video. And as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Muslim life hacks and content like this. Until next time, live your beliefs and stay tuned to Bliifee. So let's get right into it. Oh, it's hard to do that here. Let's try again. Actually. So let's get right into it. By the way, this is a dummy phone because I record videos through my phone, which I'm recording right now. Yeah.
So my dream for Jannah grows day by day, and I pray to Allah to guide me all the way till I make it to His paradise.